Hello, my name is Keith Groover. I'm a guitarist, bassist, cellist, over this thing, and I'm a guitar teacher and bass teacher, and I'm filming a couple of these videos just to kind of demonstrate my technique. And if you happen to live in the Greenville, South Carolina area, feel free to go check out my website, which is right up there. It is keithgroover.com, KEITHGROOVER.com. And like I said, if you're in the area, shoot me an email and we will set up for some lessons. Alright, today I'm going to talk about bass a little bit, and particularly about the beginnings of how to do a walking bass line on the bass. You know, it's easy as a bass player to kind of just be lazy and just play the same roots that the guitar player or whatever's playing in the band. But to do something that's more interesting, you know, if you want to do jazz or blues or whatever, you have to be able to do a walking bass line. And you know, if you know, ultimately you want to be able to, you want to be fluent in the guitar so that you can just, you know, throw off a bass line that you know exactly, you know, what notes go with what whenever. But to start with, we can do just a couple of very simple little patterns, and I'm primarily thinking of kind of blues right now. And the pattern that I'm going to use, or the scale that I'm going to use, is called the Mixolydian mode. If you don't know what modes are, that's fine. Most people don't. They are, you can kind of think of them as variations off of the major scale. The major scale is the do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do scale, that scale. Well, let's see, let me change the scale. The scale I'm doing here is C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. So there's no sharps, there's no flats. If you know piano at all, it's all the white keys on the guitar, or on the piano. Now, if, in order to make that a major scale, you have to start on a C and end on a C. However, if you change the notes that you play, or if you change the notes that you start on, but keep the exact same notes, you play what's called a mode. So for instance, if I played D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, which are just all those same natural notes, but starting on the D and ending on the D, I get this sound. And that's called the Dorian mode. Now there's seven different notes in a major scale, so that means there's 7 different modes. There's the major, there's the Dorian, which is starting on the 2nd note, the Phrygian, the Lydian, the Mixolydian, which is the one I'm going to talk about today, the Aeolian, or it's also, most people call it the minor, unless you're, you know, got a music theory degree like me and you're a music theory dork, you call it minor. And then lastly you have the Locrian mode, which is kind of the weirdest mode that nobody ever uses. It sounds like this. And the reason nobody uses it is because it doesn't sound resolved. It sounds like you need to go and end on that note. But today I'm going to talk about the Mixolydian mode. In its raw form, you can think of the Mixolydian mode as like starting on a root, in this case an A, then up a whole step, up another whole step, or 2 frets I should say, up a half step, up a whole step, half step, and then back to the octave with another whole step. In this instance, probably the easiest way to think of it is going to be think of it as a little pattern, and see if you can watch this pattern. I'm actually starting with A. This is a 5-string bass, so this is officially the 4th string of the E string, and the note that I'm starting on is on the 5th fret. So I'm going to use my middle finger. You go middle finger, 4th string, 5th fret, pinky on the 7th fret, go down a string, 4th fret, 5th fret, 7th fret, 4th fret, and then 5th fret, 7th fret. Put it all together, you get. Alright, now this mode is used just all the time in blues, especially like, to use an odd term, kind of like happy blues, you know, like that kind of thing, if you can tell what that is on bass. But the way that, like, if you don't know the basic 12-bar blues, essentially in the key of A. It's going to go A for 4 measures, D for 2 measures, back to A for 2 measures, E for a measure, D for a measure, and then A for a measure. And then a lot of people go back to the E for 1 measure. So that Mixolydian mode that I did, what I'm essentially going to use is going to use that scale for whatever chord I'm playing on. So if I'm playing an A chord, I use the A Mixolydian. If I'm playing a D chord, or if there's a D chord going on, I use the D Mixolydian, which is the same pattern but starting on the 3rd string, 5th fret. And then lastly, for the E Mixolydian, exact same pattern, just starting on the 3rd string, 7th fret. So I've got 4th string, 5th fret, 3rd string, 5th fret, 3rd string, 7th fret. Alright, so very simply, let me see here. I've got 4 beats per measure. You get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Excuse me, let me try that again. It's hard to count and play at the same time. So it goes like this: 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Back to the A. Okay, now that's a really lame bass line because, you know, I just kind of went up and down the scale. If you wanted to really do a decent bass line, you have to add a little bit more than that and get like a... There's the D. So, Mixolydian mode, learn it, love it, get really good at it, and be able to just move from that root note to other root notes in the blues pattern, and you know, get really familiar with them. Before long, you'll be able to, you know, be pretty fluent and be able to do you know, halfway decent walking bass line. To get beyond that, you really need to start learning more of your chords, more of the notes that are in the chords, knowing the notes that are in the individual scales, so you can change position if you need to, or, you know, that kind of thing. Same scale, just different places, and really it just takes a lot of practice, a lot of knowledge. That's the thing about the bass, and bass is a very knowledge-based instrument. It takes a lot of musical maturity to play the bass, which is why all bass players are cool, interesting people. So anyway, hopefully this has been helpful, and like I said before, if you happen to live in the Greenville, South Carolina area, feel free to go to my website at keithgroover.com and email me, and we can set up some lessons. Thanks a lot.